I won't say too much because you're going to learn all about Laury's invention of focusing-oriented art therapy in the first part of her film. And then you're going to see a demonstration with a volunteer. So I won't say any more words. Laury's a genius. She's written 2 books. Francis is her colleague from Guatemala. We have a lot of very smart people to learn from today. Let's watch the film.
This is a quote of Jean's that I love. When I found it, I felt like, oh, this describes why to combine focusing with art or the expressive arts. So that when I read that, it's so powerful. This last, there also needs to be a movement outward into interaction. The art concretizes the felt sense, right? Because you can see it. And then it carries all of the livingness, the energy of it. So I wanted to review, which is the 3 main approaches in focusing-oriented art therapy. And the first is the clearing of space with art, which we did yesterday. The second is theme-directed. And, you know, I took Jean's steps and created a structure for them that worked with the way I was doing art therapy. And in theme-directed, it's really useful in working with groups especially, because in groups sometimes, you know, we do address themes, like the theme of trust, or the theme of feeling safe, or the theme of anger, or the theme of self-care. And so you take the theme, the topic, and then get a felt sense about that. And then wait, and then get a symbol or a handle as an image, or a word or phrase or gesture or sound. And then you express that in the art, or the writing, or the movement, or the sound. And that's really, I have examples, that's how the theme works. And then, I mean, and the theme can also be used with individuals too, which is also useful. But it's different than ongoing psychotherapy, which is the next one, which is more in a psychotherapy one-to-one or family or couples context, where the art making and focusing is interspersed into the ongoing unfolding of the therapy session. So typically, you know, there's sharing, the client is talking, there's listening, and then you listen for when it seems like the right moment to invite someone to check inside. And then they check inside, right? And then that's when you can get a handle or a symbol and express it through art, right? And then there's interaction with the art. There's so many processes of interacting with the art. So some is sharing about it, but art therapy has many techniques or methods for working with the art. So there's a going back and forth in the focusing-oriented art therapy. It's what Jean calls that zigzag of going in and out. So it's sort of sharing, going back inside, coming back out into the art, and going back in, and it's staying very closely attuned to the client's unfolding experiential process. Okay? Here's an example. This is actually the first group that when I started combining focusing with art therapy, and it was in the psychiatric day treatment program. So first I had them go inside to notice and identify the stress or areas of tension or relaxation inside of their body, and then to get a felt sense, and then to draw the image. So this person, you can see, has this hammers coming at the head, at the feet, right? And then we would do something, like sometimes we do creative movement, or stretching, or just a breathing exercise, and do that, sometimes dancing. And then after, come sit again, and go inside, get a felt sense, and then draw, how is it now? Is it the same or is it changed? So this was, after. And you can see such a change. Like now it's coming out, and also like his eye is open. To me, that's what it's like, so alive. And he has like a smile on his face, right? This one, the person first got this tension in the stomach and represented it that way. And then this person was in the same group. Afterwards, it turned into a flower. And a felt shift, a change, which can be as subtle as a slight change in the breath, or a more dramatic experience in the body. And in art therapy, the felt sense can be seen in the art. So in focusing-oriented art therapy, you can see the change in the body, and you can see it in the art.
I wanted to start with this one, which is really an introduction to focusing-oriented art therapy or expressive arts therapy. And so in this whole film, you get to hear about the beginnings of how I developed it, the background, the research that Eugene Genlin, who started focusing, that he did, that, you get to hear about that. And then why it was so natural for me to combine the arts with focusing and to create this approach, focusing-oriented arts therapy. And so you hear all about the foundational principles and the different approaches, which you kind of got a little glimpse of an overview. So what I wanted to just say is this one in particular, you saw more or heard more of the theme-directed, right, first. And, when I started, the first population was with people with severe mental illness during the very beginning days of deinstitutionalization, with people going into the day treatment centers. So just saying that, because one of the foundational principles is clinical sensitivity. Always, especially with things that you can listen inside, I just want anyone listening to know, we don't always formally go inside, because the arts actually capture what's inside, or named the felt sense. And so that's a lot of the theory. So you get to hear about that, but I wanted to kind of pause from that one in order to introduce the next clip, because the next clip is working in individual psychotherapy with someone where it's assessed is safe enough to go inside and to listen to kind of, deeper things and have an ongoing, a psychotherapy process. So that's what the second video is. It's a client demonstration, because I felt like the best way I learned was being able to watch people, how they did art therapy, expressive arts, and there really weren't that many. So I felt brave to do it. So what you will see is the person was a volunteer client. She I just met her, so safety was really important, establishing a relationship quickly. And she was 4 months pregnant, and she felt really good about what her plan was for, a birthing plan. She and a partner. And she read a book that said, it's really helpful to get in touch with your fears. So that was one of the things that she got in touch, she wanted to focus on. But because of safety, I then asked her and led her into focusing, like, which did she want to focus on, how she wanted the birth to be, or to work on the fears. And she said, well, I know about the fears. I want to work on the vision, what I want to create. So that's where we started. So that's what I want you to know. But then, because you only sing a little clip, the fears came up after she shared. And so then I integrate a process from focusing called clearing a space that I learned from Eugene Genlin, and I adapted into a main approach called, I'm getting a 1 minute. Okay, no.
No, you're fine on time. Thanks.
Okay. So just you'll see the clearing a space integrated into the process, which is putting issues and setting them at a distance. Okay, now I'm ready.
So just take some nice breaths into your body. Yeah, and as you breathe, just noticing your breath as it comes in your body and moves out of your body. And again, feeling the support of the chair and the earth and the sky. And then as you breathe, just let yourself become aware of, you kind of reference your hearts, like what's in your heart of what you want around this birth. And the kind of spirit and birthing experience that you're wanting and your partner is wanting to have. And so maybe first sense how that feels in your body as you sense that picture, that birthing experience. Maybe notice the whole feel inside. And you can see if there's a word or a phrase or an image, a gesture or a sound that matches how it would feel. And if it feels okay to say out loud, you can say what comes.
Empowering.
Empowering.
Calm.
Calm.
Like a little cocoon.
Okay. So empowering, calm, and a little cocoon. Yeah.
There's water there too.
There's water there too. Yeah. You know, the image is it's so strong and palpable. I'm wondering if you would want to actually represent it somehow. So we can go over there. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to do something like that.
Okay. You want to share about that?
Yeah, I feel like there's this containment that's almost like a web, that's both has light of like the hands of the people I've specifically chosen to be there, and there's just kind of dim, soft light too in that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a calming container.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and just a lot of heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of trust.
It feels, the heart is very strong there, right?
Yeah.
It's big
Yeah.
and solid. Yeah. And contained. There's this container and the soft light and the hands of trust. So it feels like this is, you trust. This you trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So this is what as long as you're here, it's like, okay, I'm good. I'm like ready for it. Yeah. You want to do with it, because you can, I was thinking I also have a box.
Yeah, a box would feel good.
Yeah. You want me to get you a box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So it's scary, but does it feel like it helps start for you to get some distance? Yeah, I was going to say, you can put the box anywhere, actually in the whole room, or outside of the room. You can. Yeah. You can experiment. So that's one thing. Because part of you lit up when I suggested putting it outside the door. But
Let's try that.
You want to try it? Just
Over here. Kind of almost out the door.
almost out the door, right? Well, you can experiment this. You can move away.
Yeah.
See, the other thing is you can move. You can put it away, and you can back up from it to find the right distance.
Yeah. That feels
Does that feel
good.
like the right distance,
Yeah.
or you're finding a further distance?
good.
That's good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
So what feels good about that distance?
I do like that it's still in sight.
Yeah.
But I do like more distance
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it creates a little bit more spaciousness for the kind of birth that I hope to have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's more space for the kind that you want. So maybe we want
Yeah.
to come back to the kind that you want and see how that feels.
I would like to share with you that Laury came to Guatemala to train our first group in level 1 and 2. We were very lucky to have her. And then the second level 3 and 4, we did by Zoom because of the pandemic. But this video was given to we were lucky also to have this video with Spanish subtitles. So the students got to watch it at home at their own pace, stopping, watching. And then when we had the workshop, we would use it and choose some excerpts, like Laury did just now. And then we would talk about, have them share what was important for them, what they discovered, or how something that they had been able to learn through the theory and then experiencing some of the felt sense and the felt shift, how it was so beautifully illustrated, and the focusing attitude of the compassionate listening, the pause, the tone of voice, how Laury walks with her and how she invites the different choices so that the client is always empowered, and then you can see how when she has her little box with everything that she wanted to take out, how she uses her felt sense to find the place and the correct distance, and how you can see that opening in her body. So all of these different little things that add up and that can relate the students to the theory and the practice that they've been having, I think is like priceless at the end, And we're starting a second group now, level 1 and 2, and we have another, the video that Laury showed first, we have that with subtitles now. So I encourage anybody who can use videos for teaching in class in the workshops to do it, because it's really and the students love it.